Hey everybody, so today what we're going to be doing is looking at a brand new version of Windows. This is Windows 11. This is the development build, so of course, who knows how it's going to change on the actual release of it. We're just going to take a quick look at it and show you my impressions of it, especially as like a tech, and to show what expectations we actually had of it too, and just to explain the UI a little bit. I know there's not a whole lot of changes, but it's some UI changes that you might actually enjoy or might not enjoy, so let's just get into it. Alright, so this is what happens when you first install it. You get this screen. It's very nice and clean. It's a little bit animated. They usually aren't really great with animations. They're usually more like a very straightforward, and they have Cortana talk to you. So far that hasn't happened yet, so let's keep going. Alright. And I bet if I click this little guy in the corner here, he looks like he has his hands against the wall. I don't know what he just did, but he's not in trouble for anything. But if we click him, I'm sure if we hit the accessibility, and yep, if we get narrator, then you probably get some type of narrator. And this is all just the basic access. I don't see Cortana for some reason. It's very interesting. So we're going to definitely make sure we avoid her, and we can just stay away from this guy in the corner here. He's up to no good. So let's just hit skip. I don't know why his arms are a little bit higher than they should be. It's really strange why he's like that. Okay, so we're going to be setting this up. This will be for personal use, even though I'm at work right now, but that's fine. We're going to be doing that. That's what most people are going to be doing anyway. And usually this one, sometimes it's hard to get around this one, so let's not worry about it. Let's hit next. And they're not letting me, so let's hit sign-in options. And there we go. So you want to go to sign-in options and you want to go to offline accounts. I don't recommend really putting in a Microsoft account until after you set up everything, and maybe if you need to. I wouldn't recommend that, especially if there's any BitLock or anything that's tied to your account. You don't want to do that. So let's hit offline account. Cool, look, there's an Xbox controller. And there's a gallery app and the music. Oh, now it's gone. I like these little icons. They're really nice and cool. They're a little bit more colorful, but they're just like, they're not childish. They're just more like colorful and animated. It's nice. So they try to get you in with this. They're saying you're missing out on things. You can always hit limited experience. There is no limited experience. You probably get more experience because you're not tied into their account stuff. So just hit limited experience. And now we're just going to put in a generic user. We usually do this for everyone here. We put owner. So that's just for anyone else here. We don't need a password, so let's just keep going. And they keep asking about the online account. So skip that as much as you can. You don't want to be giving them as much data as you can unless you need it. Like obviously there's no reason if you like to tie your account in there, maybe like your email, anything like that. So these settings are very similar from before. I just turn everything off. Most of the time it's if you read what it says, usually it's using diagnostic data, advertising data. This stuff can be seen as more just intrusive, and there's no reason to do it unless you need it per app basis. So until you need it, there's no point to really use any of the privacy settings that they offer because they're trying to always take data. I mean, it's the way of paying it. I don't want to say don't do it because that's how you're getting usually a free OS. This one, they haven't said if it wasn't free or not as of making a video, but I assume it's just going to be through like an update or something. So, but yep. Let's go. It's going to check for more updates. Ooh, and now look, it's blue, and it is expanding. But now it's stopped. So it kind of looks strange. Now it's going away. We installed it. This is how it starts off. This is a brand new version of Windows. This is what it looks like if you clean install it. So I always suggest cleaning installing it if you are going to be installing it in the future. Obviously, we don't have anything out right now, but when you do it, definitely install it. Do a clean install, back up your data, and install it fresh over here so you won't run into possible problems. They're centering basically the Windows bar there, and with this whole taskbar, what it really is, it seems to be it's a little bit more spaced out than it was before, and this looks like it's more for touchscreens, and they'll be easier to touch. Like if you just touch this, it should come up pretty easy. So let's see what they're going to give us. This is with all the privacy settings turned off. Looks like these are apps. These really look like mobile apps. So if I click one, it's just going to link me right to the Windows Store or Microsoft Store. So let's say if I want to get Spotify app. So, oh look, it's going to actually install it. So cool. So I guess these are apps that are just going to install itself. Here's one that I don't think File Explorer should be a. app, should it? So the animation is different. You saw how it just kind of popped out there. I actually like the animation a lot. That was actually pretty cool. And you can see this is the normal menu here. And let's actually bring up, since we're in a virtual machine, we can bring up. All right, so this is the new one over here, and this is the old one, or this is the upcoming one, and this is the old one. But anyways, so the icons are different. They're not yellow anymore. They're actually kind of labeled. You see this more in like Linux. You do see this a lot more. It's very similar to that. They usually make the video folder video, and then you can see picture folder looks more like a gallery. But they're all folder shapes, and they're just a little bit different. There isn't rounded corners, at least in the File Explorer. Let's try to see if there's anything else. I heard there was supposed to be rounded corners everywhere. Yeah, I see. So the main start menu is the rounded corners. Oh, I just noticed. Actually, this is the start menu. So the start menu is completely different. So this is the new start menu when you boot up, and it looks like it just has apps. So this is basically like Windows version of an app drawer. It looks to be like. So right when you turn on, that's what you're gonna get is an app drawer. Let's see what else we get. We get search here, and you can see there is rounded corners. That's really strange. So there's rounded corners on like the apps, and then the legacy stuff or anything that's boring, it looks like they're gonna have still the same cornered edges here, pointed edges here. But let's go ahead and all right, so it looks about the same. All right, so let's do control panel 2. Actually, let's go over the settings right now. So settings looks exactly the same. Yeah, I keep bringing. Okay, so this is the original one. This is our one that we actually do have here, and then this is the same one here. So it doesn't look a whole lot different. It looks basically the same. The system looks a little bit different. It's a rounded edge monitor. It looks like an ultra wide monitor, but everything looks about the same. And even if you click the settings, so we won't even really care about the settings too much because it looks exactly the same. So there's nothing much different there. Just looks like the File Explorer is a little bit different, and they have icons there. I'm curious if they still did the control panel. So one of the major gripes a lot of people did have with the new Windows 10 over like even Windows 7 is or Windows 8.1 is that there still is like 2 versions of settings, and there's 2 versions of basically like sound settings, control panels, and removing apps. And something that's really interesting is they will have 2 different types of settings, and some will lead to other settings. So it's really confusing. And if you're confused by what I just said, that's exactly my point. It's very confusing. So if I hit settings, right, and the whole idea of this, if I wanted to go like to change the sound settings on this. So if I go to sound, I hope that's not too broken. It says sound here. I guess we're going to click sound because I confused it. But anyway, if we go to sound, and we can't really do. It looks like there's so like manage sound devices and see sound control panel. So when you have other things, or if you just want to switch a quick output, these are fine controls. But if you have a problem or anything like that, you have to go hit the sound control panel, and what it usually brings up is something like this. And this is usually the control panel type of setting. And the control panels does have more in-depth controls. It's more for advanced users, and especially for apps and everything like that. So another good one would be apps. So if we want to just delete one app, so if I wanted to get rid of Office or something, just for example, so you would go to apps. You can see uninstall, go to defaults. There's optional off. So you can go here and you can see whatever's installed on your device. This one isn't the greatest one. This is more apps that are on the actual like Windows Store, and there's lots of other ones like that. And if you go to control panel and you try to remove something, this is how you would typically want to remove something, especially if you're back more in the XP or 7 days. You would click it, and again, we have the boring software, so we only have we still have the edge corners, I guess. I don't know, but you only see there's only 2 programs in the control panel that you are able to uninstall. Other programs you'll see as well, especially like games or anything like that, you would want to uninstall from here. And for some reason, we're going to uninstall Edge. I'm not even going down there. I might get a blue screen. I don't want to do that now. So, but as you can see the difference even between the apps. This looks more like a phone. When you go to your settings and apps, you see a bunch of different apps that are here. A lot of this stuff you can't touch. These are system apps. And there's some other ones that you can and can't see. If the Windows recognizes it, it would be part of the apps here. If it doesn't recognize it, or if it's just more part of a system, it will go more in the control panel. We were really hoping that they were going to combine the big rumor is that they were going to actually combine the control panel settings with normal settings here. So all this will be combined into one setting. So as of right now, as I'm making this video, they still have that. I mean, it's still a dev build, so maybe they'll change it more in the future. But this is a pretty similar OS layouts and everything like that. But the settings seem to still be very, very complicated. One cool thing you also notice was the animation actually there. When I click between two different apps, like one is, well, you see the blue there, and it shows focus. And those are more of like definitely like Dex based. If you even see Samsung Dex kind of does this a lot too. They focus more on those apps and maybe just more like iPad. And it's more of a tablet style of settings, and you can see that it keeps your focus on one that you can see a little bit better than the other. So these are pretty cool. This is usually just like, oh, so there's a widgets page. Let's click the widgets. I actually thought this was the switch pane view, but I guess not. So let's see what the widgets are, and it's very you can't see nothing on the white background for some reason. So let's get out of here. Let's see if it's still bring up widgets here. We go to the main screen. And obviously I haven't commented on the wallpaper. It's the wallpaper, so I can't use Microsoft, or I can't use Windows Dashboard unless I have a Microsoft account. So I'm sure the widgets are based on Windows apps, so it makes sense. But you can always offline install Windows apps, and it will only ask for certain things that you need. So this is the task view. This is another one. So if you can create a new desktop, you can have, just say like you have a bunch of Chrome browsers here, and you have lots of stuff going on here for work, and then you have another desktop. It's task view. There's nothing special about it, but it's just the animation looks different. And it does look a little bit cooler. It's not going to really do much. You see there's a lot of computers. There's nothing special about it here. But so far, what we see at least is the redesign of the start menu, which is completely different, to be honest. And it's very, very, very mobile friendly. So that's what I'm thinking this is probably going. Mobile and touchscreen friendly. It's very clean and straightforward, unlike the other ones where we had like 6 games that were actually on there. And like Candy Crush, I think they always had. And I don't really see that here, which is pretty cool. These, I'm sure you can remove suggested or anything else like that. Here, this is what you would normally see, right? You'll go through here. And this just might be on the dev build, but yeah, I don't see any games that are actually pre-installed on there, which is really cool. Really, really cool. And, okay, so you can still right-click. You can uninstall certain things. So if I don't want their Groove Music, I can get rid of the Groove Music. I'm not going to do that. I don't want a blue screen, so. But looks pretty cool, and most of the stuff's pretty straightforward here. I do like this a lot better. So this is just an expanded start menu, so you have everything quick access here. This is very big, and I don't know why you need to recommend it this big. It's over half, what's about a share of half of what you have on your pinned apps. So I'm sure you can probably customize this too, and maybe pin, so you can pin to start. If you ever done it in before, that was a little bit more difficult. For some people, it would be confusing, pin to taskbar, pin to start. But this is clearly what it is. These are pinned apps, and you can change them as you go. It's kind of pointless to have a taskbar and to have the pinned apps in here, because it's kind of doing the same thing, and it's a little bit unnecessary. It's a little bit more cluttered. They probably could have just done all apps, which would have been fine, I think, because you can just have your taskbar. Could have been maybe a little bit better selection for that. And this is an app, so I guess File Explorer really an app? Is Getting Started really an app? Is a lot of these, right? Especially movies and TV. It's if they should call movies player or something that'd make more sense. But at least Notepad's there. These are just the basic settings. So this is basically your app drawer, and this is just looking a lot like a very, very friendly touch-based Windows UI, I guess. So a very, very friendly, touch-friendly UI for Windows. It looks like that's what it's going to be. Pretty interesting. I don't really see anything else that I really noticed that was significant from a difference perspective. It looks about the same, and the clocks look the same. One more thing, let's try to do it in tablet mode and see if that changes anything, because I don't know how many people already do tablet mode. There should be a way to, so all settings. There's usually like a bunch more here. Let's see, maybe if I click all settings, it'll show more. I guess not. But I do like that animation, at least that's better. Let's see if they have a tablet mode anymore. They don't have they don't have tablet mode anymore. If you guys remember, there was a tablet mode for this. And you're able to do it. It makes everything a little bit easier, but maybe that's what the settings is. So so this is what this is all about. So when I'm taking away this, and I'm gonna end this, at least this part of looking at this here, is this is tablet mode. This is Windows, how it's supposed to be for every computer. They've been trying it since Windows 8 to make it very touch friendly, and this is their first real jump, and they're not totally jumping the gun. They want to have a desktop user interface too. So this looks like it's the best combination between having a desktop and having a touch friendly desktop for your tablet and not make it so confusing. It's definitely a lot better, especially the start menu. It's a great start that we can do that. I don't know if I would call it a new version of Windows, but this is basically the 10X. This is kind of what they're going to see more in the future. They're definitely going to be pushing more in the Windows store and everything. Try to download through there because that's their store. That's how they make money. Always go ahead and support them if you can. They usually have some pretty cool stuff. I know some people don't like a lot of the stuff that they have here. It's a little bit more janky. You just install it through a website. But it's supposed to be optimized and it's supposed to be going always this way. This is usually a better way to go through. Support them directly. Always support the developers. They work very hard, and I know you guys. I know you guys love software as much as us and everything. So go ahead and always support them. If you can buy something, definitely buy it through the Microsoft Store. Support them. Okay, so one other feature we did actually notice, and I thought was really cool, is if you right-click anywhere, especially on a desktop, you can actually open in Windows Terminal. And it's very strange that they call it Windows Terminal because the normal term for this, especially if you see this icon, this is usually a PowerShell, or you can also call it command prompt, whatever you want to do it. Terminal is usually, you hear that more in like in Linux or Mac OS or anything like that. That's more of what the name is called there. So it's very interesting. So if you right click on the desktop, you're going to have the path would be for the desktop. It will be C, users, your name here, and desktop. If I go into folder, on the File Explorer, and I go into my Documents folder, it's going to right-click, and if I right-click Open in Windows Terminal, you're going to see the directory is going to go to Users, Owner, Documents. So what this is good for, it's usually good for targeting, especially if you're fluent with more PowerShell command prompt or anything like that. It's going to target those more power users for that, and definitely looks a lot prettier, and I'm for it. I just wish they can make the settings a little bit easier and just to uninstall things. I think this still needs to go. I don't really like the quick actions and everything over here in this setting. That's not touch friendly at all. And I think they could have done a little bit better of a part of the redesign could have been this. There's no reason to really have the action center and everything here where your finger is going to be drawn towards this because it's a big icon. But when you touch over here, you're back to the same old Windows stuff. And they should have just made these a little bit bigger. Maybe do the same thing over here, just to expand them. So anyways, guys, that's really about it. And yeah, so that's Windows 11 as the dev build came out. So hope you guys enjoyed. All right, guys, so really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video on just the Windows 11 dev build. This is what you would see if you installed it for the first time on the machine. Again, we don't know what they're going to do with any changes that might come in the future for the official release, but this is what it looks like as of right now and on their dev build. But I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I just like the critiques I actually did have for it. We did think it's pretty cool, but of course there were some more changes that can always happen that can make the experience a little bit better, especially you want to make it easier for every type of user, not just advanced users. And it's hard to do that, I understand. So I personally like the step in the right direction with the new UI and make it more touch friendly and to make it a little bit more lively and not so boring. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please leave a like for more content. Please subscribe for more other videos that we do on Windows builds, Windows machines. We also do data recoveries, liquid spills. We do lots of different stuff. We could do some basic screen replacements, fan replacements, and we also dive deep into more of other component level repairs and liquid spills and lots of other things as well. Check out our store. Everything is located in the link in the description below, especially all of our contact information if you're interested in repairs or especially data recovery. So I really hope you guys enjoyed watching and have a good one. Bye.